up there?
Yeah, oh yeah, things warmed up a bit. We're up to about 9, 10 degrees now.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the
Still,
snow's gone.
still pretty cold for my blood though. All right. So we got some Aussie news coming out, gang. We got some Aussie news coming out. You should all be seeing the screen now. Yeah.
There you are.
All right. So looking at this Aussie yen right now, it looks a little bit interesting to me. A little bit interesting. We've had one, two, three, four. This would be the fifth green, right? So we got to be a little bit careful. But we're moving away from the 200. Got the 8 moving up, the 20 moving up, and the MACD is flat, but just try and move up a little bit at the very end here. So we're going to watch this AUD JPY at 86.458. Okay. Give me 1 second. Be right back. All righty, I'm back. So we got to be careful, gang. We got to hope for some good news on the Aussie to move this thing up here. Okay. Now, if I check my currency strength indicator right now, it's telling me that on the 30-minute chart, boy, the Aussie is getting very strong, isn't it? And the yen is getting weak, right? So this orange line here is the Aussie, and this yellow one here is the yen. So it's also telling me that the pound is getting a little bit stronger too. Oh, it's starting to weaken a little bit, but the pound is still pretty darn strong. So the pound is not a good one to look at for the pound Aussie right now because they're pretty, and you can see it's just consolidating, right? Euro Aussie looks a little bit interesting too, but again, this would be a good news trade, all right? This should have to be a good news trade. EUR AUD 1.41263, gang. Okay, so we're looking there. It's got a nice little range to it. Nice little range to it. Aussie US is trying to move up. That's a lot of jumbo though. Not quite liking that as much. Aussie Canadian, same thing. Aussie New Zealand, trying to come up, but a lot of noise to get through here. Don't like all this noise there. Aussie Swissy is a little bit interesting to me. A little bit interesting. So we're going to keep an eye on this Aussie yen, gang. Keep an eye on this Aussie yen. See if we can't get a push up there. We're going to let the news come out and go from there, okay? I don't see any bad news Aussie trades. None. Maybe the pound Aussie. Maybe the pound Aussie. If we get bad news and this pushes it up, maybe. So I'm going to stock here on the Aussie yen. Kind of have my order box open. This will be a market order entry, most likely. And we'll wait for the news. Now remember, you could see some big spikes, gang. You could see some big spikes before the news comes out, and that's okay. Or even after the news comes out. We'll wait for a pullback and wait for a proper entry point before we jump in, okay? So, watch what I do, and I'll explain why I'm doing what it is I'm doing there. Now, some of you were chatting in the Skype group about the pipeline news today. That was interesting. Our new president did an executive order wanting to restart the pipeline. Now, it's far from a done deal, but when you saw that happen, you saw the Canadian dollar get super strong, right? You saw some big moves on the Aussie Canadian. This whole big push down here was right when that pipeline news was announced. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that going forward. Same thing with the dollar Canadian, big push down. So again, understanding the news and why, but we'll come back to that. All right, we got our green circles on Forex Factory. So we shall wait. We shall see what we see here. All right. Okay. Ooh, my goodness. Big push down there. Let's see here. What's going on?
No news yet.
We're going to cancel that. We're going to jump over to the pound Aussie. Like numbers here. Come on now. Ooh, no, look at that spread, gang. 10 pip spread. No, thank you. Pound Aussie. Okay, you got a miss on the trim mean.
Miss on them both.
Miss on them both. Okay, that's a pretty big miss on the CPI there. Okay. So now we got to find a decent trade here. Aussie Canadian is kind of moving. Aussie New Zealand's kind of moving, but nothing's quite fitting our... Wow. Okay. So we're just going to have to wait, gang. No need to be impatient here. We're going to have to wait till we get all of our signals. Okay. Aussie Canadian looks a little bit interesting to me, but not yet. Aussie US spiked right down to the 200. Now it's bouncing back up. Aussie yen is trying to move down, but we got a lot of conflict there still, so I'm not interested. Aussie Canadian, I think, is going to be our best bet here, gang.
Swissy's trying to turn down.
And I entered a sell on the Aussie Canadian at 99390. 99390, gang.
Take it now.
Yeah, if you want to do a market order, go ahead. Come on, keep pushing for us there. Should go down to 99266 here, at the very least. All right, a little bit of profit taking going on here. Push back down for us. Let's go. Check out the currency valuations going on here. Yeah, big spike down, huh? Big spike.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pound is moving up big time. Come on now. All right, stalling out a little bit on us here. See if we can get a push back down here. Pretty good miss on the CPI there, so keep on pushing. Let's go, let's go. Laura, you got a correct 23 on the pound Aussie. Way to go. Well done. That's beautiful. Puts a big smile on my face there, Laura. Way to go. Keep on pushing down. Let's go. A little bit concerning is stalling out here. May just scalp a few if it gets to positive here. Come on already, break through. Let's go. Kind of stalling out at that 99354 level. Let's go. Push, push, push. Just flush. Let's go. Flush on down there. Take a look at that pound Aussie. Okay. Boy, what was your spread on that, Laura? Because mine, okay, now it's back to reasonable. It's only 3 pips, but I'm curious, Laura, what was your spread on that? If you don't mind sharing. Just paying for the spread right now on ours. Let's go. Push, push, push. Come on now. Just kind of waiting on it. Would you just go already? You know you want to. All right, I'm gonna be impatient. I'm gonna take a 1 pip gain there. Okay, no worries, Laura. Here's what I'm gonna do in this Aussie Canadian gang. Although looking at this pound Aussie now looks a little bit interesting too. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Wow, interesting. Interesting. All right. So we got a ways to go here on this pound Aussie. Okay. Here's what we're going to look for, gang. GBP AUD. Right now, we're right about 1.6574, right? Okay. That's where we are now. Our next resistance, our R1, is until 1.66465. Okay. So we got a nice juicy range there. Nice big range. Oops, that should be 74. So we got a nice big range there, about almost 70 pips, yeah? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to wait until this thing clears. I'm going to put a buy stop. I'm going to put a buy stop at the top of this wick here. Okay. There's nothing holding this thing back, gang. There's nothing holding this thing back. You have to go out to the H4 chart to really see anything there. Okay. So I'm going to put a buy stop on the pound Aussie, GBP AUD 1.66072. Okay. And I'll have a 20 pip target on this. Okay. Start off with, because you easily have another, almost 40 pips, but I'm going to start off with a 20 pip target on that. And I'm just going to sit on that and wait. Okay. It's going to sit on that and wait. See if it can't get back up to that high and then break through it and keep going. This may take another candle or two, and I'm fine with waiting on that. Okay. I'm fine with waiting on that. But if you want to be more aggressive, you could wait for a pullback to the 8 or the 20 and then wait for it to break above 1.65618. 1.65618. You can get a pullback and then get the 8 or the 20 pushing it up again. This thing should run now. This thing should run for a while. That's pretty bad news on the CPI and the trimmed mean CPI. So this thing should get a nice trickle up. What I want to see on this is this green candle finish above these previous highs. Okay. I want to see this green candle finish above these previous highs. That'll be a good sign that this thing is taking off and going to create a nice little 8 triangular upside here, possibly well into the evening. Okay. If I move this buy stop down, I'll post about it on Skype. Okay. But for right now, I'm going to leave it where it is, see if I can't get more pushing up. But we have a nice juicy range to the upside here. A little bit aggressive on the spread there. Okay, it's just over 3 pips, which I don't like terribly, but not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. That Aussie Canadian is still stalling out, so I'm glad we got out of that. So let's just stick and watch on this pound Aussie, and it should give us a nice consistent move here for the next few hours. All right. Everybody got it? Pound Aussie buy stop at 166.072, gang. 166.072. If I move it down, I will let you know on the Skype group. But this will probably take another candle or two before it triggers. All right. Great job, Laura. 20 pips on that already is awesome. Well done. That is it for tonight, gang. We meet again Thursday morning, bright and early. We don't have anything tomorrow. If you're going to trade that oil reserves tomorrow, be conservative, please. That's been kind of squirrely of late. So be conservative on that, gang. All right. So keep an eye on this pound Aussie, and we'll talk about it on Thursday and on the Skype group if you have any questions. Have a great night, gang. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.